Labour's Angela Rayner makes a cast-iron commitment on workers' rights to start the general election battle. This sounds like promising things from Labour. Let's read into this more from Sky News, guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an article from Sky News with the headline that Labour's Angela Rayner makes a cast-iron commitment on workers' rights to start the general election battle. Angela Rayner promised an employment rights bill in the first 100 days of office should Labour win the next general election in a speech that called for unity among unions following recent criticisms of Labour's direction. So this sounds very, very good. Given some of the U-turns and setbacks that Labour have done, and rightly or wrongly, they need to be they should be criticised for them. But this is a very good. This seems like a very good step from Labour. So let's read into it a bit more. So Angela Rayner declared the battle to win over votes at the next general election is getting started as she reveals Labour's vision to boost workers' rights. In a speech at the TUC conference in Liverpool, Labour's deputy leader gave a cast-iron commitment to push through an employment right bill within 100 days of entering office if the party wins the keys to Downing Street. The New Deal for working people will include protections against unfair dismissals, a ban on zero-hour contracts, more flexible working and ending fire and rehire when an employer fires an employee and offers them a new contract on often less favourable terms. Mrs Rayner said, "I come here with one message today, and that's the next Labour government will build an economy that works for working people with a new deal for working people. Labour will start by bringing forward an employment rights bill to legislate this within the first 100 days of entering office. That is a cast-iron commitment." I love the fact that they're going to get rid of zero-hour contracts, get rid of protections against unfair dismissals, getting rid of this fire and rehire crap. My God, the fire and rehire thing is been absolutely abysmal. So many employees have lost their jobs and have been forced against their will on much crappier contracts as a result of that scheme. I'm all for this, guys. I really, really am. But this is Labour who've done a lot of U-turns as well. And that is still on the back of my mind. But this has just been announced, and this is a very positive thing. So we need some positivity from Labour, and this is a positive commitment. Now, she did say it's a cast-iron commitment as well. So within the first 100 days as well, they want. Mrs Rayner also promised to repeal the government's vicious anti-trade union laws, such as controversial minimum service level bill. She said the legislation, which requires minimum levels of service during a strike, is a spiteful and bitter attack that threatens nurses with the sack. Strike is a last resort, but a fundamental freedom that must be respected, she told the conference. Mrs Rayner said that a Labour government would update trade union laws to make them fit for the 21st century, adding that for too long they have failed to keep up with the hard reality of the ground. Measures she announced include a ban on blacklisting of union reps and workers, expanding the role of unions to allow for more collective bargaining on pay and conditions, giving unions a legal right to access workplace, and raising the living wage. Conservative Party Chairman Greg Hands claimed the speech showed the mask has slipped, and despite promises from Sir Keir Starmer to be pro-business, his deputy leader is committed to Labour's union paymasters that they will have more control over Britain's economy. Well, you got to balance the books, is what my argument would be. Yes, and businesses also, like, they need to make money, but at the same time, they need to be able to give workers a fair share as well. So there has to be a balance. And I think is Greg Hands saying that he's all for zero-hour contracts? Is he all for via and rehire? Because that's certainly, I don't see him stating that he's against them. But Mrs Rayner insists that Labour's New Deal is not only good for workers, but good for the economy and business. Yes, if people have enough money in their pockets, people are able to spend, people are able to invest money back into the economy. So it is a good thing. We want to be able workers to have decent rights, decent pay, terms and conditions, that they are able to make ends meet. If not just make ends meet, but more than that. She said that Labour would work with both trade unions and businesses to make the bill work, adding a healthier, happier and motivated workforce is good for the bottom line. I like that they're willing to, like they're saying there, they're willing to work with both trade unions and businesses. I like that prospect. Yeah, get them both round the table and say, like, what can we do here to ensure that businesses thrive and workers' rights are protected? You know, that's kind of what you want to lay that down when you sit down with both sides on the table, with both of these sides on the table for businesses and trade unions. How can we make sure that businesses continue to make money? At the same time, how can we make sure that workers are happy and getting a decent pay as well and given fair terms and conditions? What can we do? How can we ensure this has happened? What can we do with this bill? That's the kind of approach that you want to make, that would for sure. Mrs Rayner's appearance at the TUC conference comes after some unions questioned Labour's commitments to workers' rights and accused the party of not being bold enough. In an apparent nod at that criticism, she ended her speech calling for a unity amongst the movement to get Labour into power. She declared the battle for the general election is getting started and it's not going to be easy. This country cannot survive another 5 years of Tory rule. That is absolutely 100% true. We cannot have any more time of Conservatives. We've got to have a change in government. That if we all must agree on. There is no doubt that Labour has to win, but to get this victory, we have to come together, stand together and campaign side by side. And we need your help to get the word out there about the New Deal for working people. Biggest upgrade of workers' rights in a generation. The message was met with a standing ovation from those in the audience. Commentating on the speech, Paul Newark, the General Secretary of TUC, said Labour's New Deal would be the biggest upgrade in workers' rights in a general election in a generation. He said Labour's transformative New Deal for working people stands in stark contrast to the Tories' dire record on workers' rights and pay. The Conservatives have presided over an explosion of insecure work and the longest pay squeeze in modern history. They are now launching a full-scale attack on the right to strike. The country desperately needs a fresh start. British voters across the political spectrum want more security and fairer treatment at work. Make no mistake, implementing the New Deal would be the biggest upgrade in workers' rights in a generation. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, guys, this is a great thing. As I said, we want to try, as I said there, you know, they'll obviously make a few tinkering sort of things, I think they will, in order to give businesses assurances, but also we need to make sure, hey, workers have been left in the trade unions have been left in the ditch for the last 13 years and their rights and their way of life has been ignored. People need to be given the power again, guys, and this is really, really important. So I'm all for this. I'm definitely all for this. So I just hope that that if Labour do roll a few things back, they don't roll back too much and they do commit to this. And if it doesn't cost too much money, then that's even better. And in the long term, it will be beneficial for the economy, because if workers are able to get better pay terms and conditions, if businesses are still able to make profits, everybody wins in the end, and it will be good for the economy. So guys, what do you make in the comment section down below about this? Do you think Labour are going to stick to this plan? Do you think Labour are going to be a voice for workers' rights, as Angela Rayner has set out here? Do you guys think that they will find that balance between businesses and trade unions, as Keir Starmer has said that he is all pro-business as well? So it'll be interesting to see how this comes into play, and when the manifesto finally comes from Labour, when the general election is finally called, it'll be interesting to say the least. But let me know what you guys think. Like, share and subscribe as always. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.